Hey, Abshin. Today, guys, I want to cover 3 topics for you guys. Firstly, speaking about this flip-flopper, Fikile Mbalula, the best flip-flopper in South African politics. I want to pull an old clip where he speaks about Pravin Gordhan when Pravin Gordhan was still alive, and then bring a clip where he's speaking at the memorial service of Pravin Gordhan, trying to paint Pravin as this hero for South Africans. Fikile, man. I also want to address the Minister of Home Affairs, Dr. Leon, on the suggestion that South Africa should import 11,000 skilled and qualified workers to come and work here. And I ask myself, where are the let's put South African first people? The same people that attacked Dada Morero for making similar comments, the same people that marched to Dada Morero's office to submit CVs. Where are those people now? Is it because Dada Morero was speaking about African foreigners, and this one is speaking about European, bringing all the Israelis here in South Africa? No, you South Africans. Also, let's cover this issue of the interview of Herman Mashaba, the president of Action SA, in Newsroom Africa, where I felt like the presenter of Newsroom Africa was trying to convince Herman Mashaba that Action SA should rather work with the DA, even though that the DA is backstabbing Action SA. I mean, you will hear, according to her tone, her body language, that she is forcing Action SA to work with the DA. We are forced to foster journalist snow as you are in South Africa. I hope you guys are indoor. Don't go and travel unnecessarily because of this snow, especially those who are in the coastal areas. Be careful, guys. Let's stay safe. Let's talk about that and much more.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva Mngwane Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, I'm covering the 4 topics. Let's start with Fikile Mbalula without wasting any time. This is what Fikile Mbalula said about Pravin Gordhan when Pravin was still alive. And listen to how he flops, and says a different thing when Pravin is no longer here.
Ex-former Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan.
Pravin Gordhan must not use the name of the ANC to promote anarchy in South Africa. He must form his own political party. If he's fed up of the ANC, we will meet each other toe for toe. For all you have done for our country, for all the times you were by the side of the people, with the people, to help and support them. If we have forgotten to show our gratitude enough to all the things you did, we are thanking you now. And we are hoping you knew all along how much you meant to us. Guided and energized by the lessons you taught us, we will meet the challenges ahead and we will prevail. We will write your deeds in our hearts, and we shall tell them to the young, to those yet to be born, that once in our lives we were gifted with the life of a luminary, a great example of decency, a man whose life was built on conscience and decorum.
This is the type of politicians that we have in South Africa. A flip-flopper of note, Fikile Mbalula. And I promise you, when Cyril Ramaphosa is no longer the president of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula is going to flip-flop and work with the MK party. I promise you guys. I promise you. Somebody record this and play this in 2029. I promise you, after Cyril Ramaphosa is no longer there, the flip-flopping is going to start with Fikile Mbalula. Trust me. Because we are not stupid. We've been saying this thing. I said to you guys, I'm not the type of person that will celebrate somebody's death. I'm not that type of a person. But I said don't try to paint Pravin as if he was some type of a hero. He was not. And we don't have to say it ourselves. We know he got rid of the state-owned entities. He got rid of them. He killed them slowly during his term as a minister. He got rid of them. When he was even the Minister of Finance, it was even worse. So don't paint Pravin. Just let the man sleep where he's sleeping and leave him alone. Don't try to paint him as if he's some type of a hero. South Africans understand their politics and they know who Pravin is. So for me, that's it. I think this is the last time I'm covering this Pravin thing. Cool. The Minister of Home Affairs, the Ministry of Home Affairs is suggesting that to improve the economy of South Africa, they need to inject the economy with skilled and qualified workers. How? For me, I don't have a problem with that because I understand the logic behind that. I just wanted to come back to the South Africans who were saying they are putting South Africa first because Udada Morero is trying to employ people who are from outside South Africa. And I said during the Dada Morero saga, I said, South Africans, you cannot say that people from outside South Africa can't find a job in South Africa. Because there are many thousands and hundreds of thousands of South Africans working abroad. So if we chase people away, because South Africans, when you say we chase people away, they are only thinking of Africa. I said, our people are in China. I've got a friend who's in Iraq right now, is teaching there. They are everywhere. And there where they are, it's not like everyone is employed. You understand what I'm saying? In the UK, there's unemployment. In the US, there's unemployment. Unemployment is in any country. You understand? Very few countries have got a very low one-digit unemployment rate. You understand what I'm saying? So I said, the suggestion is it's not a crazy one that Udada Morero made. And I was convinced when other colleagues told me, say, no man, this issue of language, a language you can learn it. And I said, okay, I'm convinced. Just like they convinced Dada to say, no, Dada, the suggestion that you made is a little bit far-fetched. We can just take a South African and teach him this language and sort them out. I said, okay, that's fine. So I'm saying the same people that were picketing at Dada Morero's office, can you guys also please go and picket at the Home Affairs office? Please, because you need to show us that when you said we are putting South African first, it was not only against African brothers. And then when we talk like this, then Nina King, pan-Africanist, but vele qiniso. You only fight when you fight your African brothers. When it is a white minister who's saying they must bring 11,000, import 11,000 skilled workers to come and work here, and you know they're talking about Israel, and then you are keeping quiet. Napora, guys, napora. Anyways, Herman Mashaba has put his foot down and said he's not going to vote for the mayor of Tshwane, Mr. Brink. He said he's not going to vote for him anymore. Next week, I think they are voting and to take him out or keep him in. And Herman Mashaba said Action SA is going to take him out. And the presenter of Newsroom Africa does not understand why Herman Mashaba is turning his back against the DA. Listen to this.
Honestly, I don't think he does really get a sleep. I think let me give him the peace of mind. Go and talk to the ANC, because if I look at the political structure of the municipality of Tshwane in terms of the councillors, the only help we can get is from the ANC, because Action SA is gone, and with the other parties, unfortunately, they cannot form government. So if he's such a clever, brilliant guy, like he pretends, and his party has presented him like he's one of the best mayors that God has ever created in the world. Don't waste your time. Go and talk to the ANC to assist you in remaining in power, because Action SA support is gone.
You say he must be having sleepless nights, and he admits that he is. He says this is worrying him because he feels that there's been a lot of work that's been put in the past 18 months, that progress has been made, improved audit outcomes, increase of debt collection as well, and plans moving forward to continue to stabilize the metro. And what you're doing is tantamount to taking back all that work that had been done, that you were also a part of as Action SA.
That's true, Mas. You can imagine if that is what he is articulating, and that is true. I think if you look at since 2016 when DA took over the municipality of Tshwane, I mean, their performance was worse than when the ANC was in power at the time. From 2016, so fortunate enough, AG's reports are there for anyone to read. The city has been going backwards. Until Action SA came into the picture, we started holding them accountable. For the first time, we started seeing the turnaround. Even after the elections, we thought we will continue on the trajectory. But they then decided to go and approach the ANC when they could not get Gauteng to cooperate with them, to say, please talk to Gauteng structures to cooperate. We are happy to work with you in these 3 metros, including Tshwane, and kick this small party called Action SA out. And Action SA gets a wind of this. And as anyone who expects us to wait for the DA to remove us with the ANC, they've made the wrong calculation.
But Mr. Mashaba, he also...
Where the DA governs, it governs excellent. That's the narrative that they are trying to push. Not telling us, because some of us, we read the audit reports that are coming out, knowing very well that the DA underspends, and this particular mayor has got about 13 billion of irregular expenditure. Imagine 13 billion. If it was EFF or MK party, we would not hear the end of this. Irregular spending. So meaning you spend money without the correct processes. You know, without following the correct supply chain processes. Irregular, amongst other things, that's what irregular means. You understand what I'm saying? So, for me, that the presenter is saying no, but the mayor can't sleep because the DA wants to improve Tshwane. The DA has never improved Tshwane since 2016 or something like that. They have not improved this Tshwane. Ask the people who are staying in Tshwane. Otherwise, we would not be having this conversation if Tshwane was improving. You know, so it's like she's speaking on behalf of the DA. If you listen to her properly, it's like she's speaking on behalf of the DA, saying they want to continue with the improvements in Tshwane. Heaven. The DA was speaking with the Action SA. Then the DA turned around and went to go speak with the ANC. But when they spoke to the ANC, they said, listen, get rid of Action SA. Don't worry about Action SA. Let's work together. And you know there's tension between ANC and DA, specifically in Gauteng. So for me, I've got absolutely no respect. But listen to how the presenter defends the DA. Just listen to her tone and when she speaks about the DA.
But Mr. Mashaba, he also says that, with that as well being said, that the accusation that they went behind Action SA's back and they went to speak to the ANC to try and, you know, get you out of the deal as well after the 29 May elections, they're saying that bring us the evidence. We are denying that we did have those conversations.
My goodness, I think, Mas, I'm sure you read, and it's in the papers. Solim Simanga himself bring even today's all the interviews he's had. They're talking, as I'm talking to you right now. They're talking to they're still talking to the ANC.
But so are you.
Yes. No, but we declared. We didn't really hide. That's why the difference between us and the ANC, as soon as it came to our attention that the DA is talking to the ANC to remove us, we immediately, in fact, had a press conference. We didn't really discuss this in some dark corners, smoke-filled rooms. We immediately said to South Africa, we're out of here. So but we said we will do the review, and unfortunately the review process even came out with much more really quite worrying findings, because when we immediately went on a review process, the first structure we consulted was our Gauteng PEC. I can tell you that meeting I attended myself, and almost the entire Action SA PEC was there. They said, please, can we don't even need to really go through a review process.
Now she's speaking on behalf of the DA to say, but where is this evidence that the DA is speaking behind your back to the ANC? It's in the public, sister. If you don't know, then that's your problem. But the DA is speaking in public to say they are speaking to the ANC because they want to keep their mayor there. And they are hoping that this unity that they have of government of confusion will trickle down in the province of Gauteng. But they failed in Ekurhuleni, they failed in Johannesburg, they are failing again in Tshwane, and we are hoping that they fail next week. They'll let that mayor go, even if we get the ANC mayor. Go right, man, go right, as long as it's not DA. I've come to that point now, because to hear these presenters trying to defend the DA like this, is speaking as if the DA is in the room. The DA is not in the room, but the way she's speaking about the DA, high corner, man. So Action SA is pulling their vote for the DA. They are working now to get rid of the DA.
Yes, I'm saying they're talking to the ANC right now.
I want us to get to the nub of the issue here. Is Action SA pulling out of this coalition in Tshwane because the administration there is not doing things right, is not stable, or because you feel that they backstabbed you?
No, what triggers and what we fear, I mean, personally, I fear, I can't really be in a marriage where I've got to really always look at my back. That is what really triggered. That's what triggered everything else. So it's the
backstabbing that triggered.
It's the backstabbing that triggered this.
But the backstabbing doesn't have to do with the progress of governance.
Yeah,
there.
but tell me, married to Herman Mashaba, and you discover that plan to kill you, would you really stay in that marriage?
But also, Mr. Mashaba,
as much as the outside world there is seeing everything that marriage between Herman and Masa is going well.
But we've seen this marriage between Action SA and also you in particular, Herman Mashaba, with the Democratic Alliance. We've seen it kind of be on and off. From your time as the mayor, when you left as well, you had some strong allegations as well and strong thoughts about the DA, and made mention the fact that you cannot work with people like this. But then you came back and went into coalition governments with them in certain metros as well, and still complained about DA arrogance. So it's almost like you knew the devil you were getting into bed with, because you've been married to this person before.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think the advantage I have is that because of my age, only obviously, I think before 1994, very close.
Listen to guys. Listen to this presenter. She said, "Are you pulling out because you were backstabbed, or are you pulling out because of the administrative administration is not working in Tshwane?" As if the administrative working processes are working in Tshwane. The DA is not working for the people of Tshwane. It's not working for them. Like I said, if they were doing a good job, we all will be hearing about it. But there's nothing they can point out. Irregular expenditure, even in the Western Cape, sending money back to Treasury, not spending, underspending on education and all of those things. We know these things. The DA does not know how to run governance. They don't know. They simply don't know. So it's funny for me. It is asking, are you pulling out because of backstabbing? And Herman clearly says, listen, how can you work with people that you don't know at any given moment that can backstab you? So for me, Man, like really, when I was listening to this present, I was so bored. I said, actually, these children are singing for their food. She's trying so much. She's trying, and this is the same Herman Mashaba who worked. Was it in Ekurhuleni or Joburg Mayor for 3 years as a Joburg politician, as a DA mayor, and he said when he was the DA mayor, the most difficult party to work with was the DA. And if you're following the other clips when he was speaking, he said the most easiest party to work with was the EFF. Listen to this.
It became unstoppable. And when the DA approached me in late 2015 to be the mayoral candidate, I'd already decided I was sick and tired of being an armchair critic, and I did not want to leave my country, go and settle somewhere else. So I had 3 years of working with the DA as their mayor. And remember, I said in the 3 years I was the mayor, they were the most difficult partner. And then fast forward to 2021 election, SA, the results came out. No one could really form government. We then said, who's the better devil? We then, obviously, as Action SA said, let's back the DA. And it's been really very difficult. And I think they've now pushed us to a stage where our bodies can't take this abuse any longer. And that's why we're calling it quit. We says, go and talk to the ANC because that's what you really wanted. We can't keep on really looking at our back all the time. Honestly, we as Action SA, we are comfortable. Come next week, if there's clean deal with the ANC, we are happy to sit on.
Now, with Action SA, for myself, I'm still trying to find where to put Action SA. I've got a little bit of respect for them because Action SA looks like when they say they are doing something, they do it. And when they say they won't do something, they don't do it. So there's a little bit of respect that I have for Action SA. But of course, as a pan-Africanist, I don't see how their strategy would work because they don't believe in nationalization of strategic sectors and all of those things. But Herman Mashaba was a DA politician, and he was elected by the DA to be the mayoral candidate in Johannesburg. He served there for 3 years, and he said he suffered under those 3 years because it was difficult to work with the arrogant DA. I mean, guys, if you go on the public, you will see that he points out the EFF and says the EFF was the easiest party to work with. Some of you might have heard that clip. So the Action SA is tired of the DA, the arrogance of the DA, how the DA has mistreated them. And the DA are not happy that Herman Mashaba is doing well because, he comes from the DA. So they overlook him as a small boy, but they are making a mistake because now they are needing him. They need his vote to keep their mayor there because with IFP and which is non-existent anyway in Gauteng, and ANC alone, they can't keep that mayor. They need another person. They need Action SA, they need PA, they need other people to secure that seat. So I'm so happy to see what is happening there. But another thing is that the Moonpeg shot was the DA strategy to fool the other political parties while they were negotiating with the ANC. We know they were negotiating even before the election.
But at least then we know that we don't have anyone to step us at the back.
How do you feel now about your relations with the ANC and also the EFF? Before the elections, you had made it categorically clear that Action SA will not work with the ANC. And that's why that led to the Moonshot Pact as well. Do you feel snubbed that the parties you got into that Moonshot Pact with, they didn't take it as seriously as perhaps you may have?
Yeah, well, that is really, Masa, it's really something that is really extremely worrying, deeply worrying, because as Action SA, we're sitting between two devils, one really very corrupt, one arrogant, dishonest, deceitful. And at the same time, South Africa cannot afford to not have government. So we've got to really choose.
So now you're willing to work with the ANC?
We don't really have a deal with them as yet, but we're waiting for them to talk to us. If they are willing to talk and we can have serious discussions, and they will commit that no one is going to cover corruption. We are going to ensure that we put professional people to run this that municipality. We will put conditions, but I think it's not something that I think one can preempt, because I've not really started formal discussions with them. But in the event that the ANC decides to go with the DA, Action SA is not going to prescribe to the ANC or DA who to partner with. Us as Action SA, we are going to decide for ourselves and ourselves only.
All right.
And this is precisely the reason why I say I've got a little bit of respect for Action SA, because when they said, listen, we are not going to work with the ANC, they meant it. They're not going to go into coalition with the ANC. Working and voting with the ANC, like the EFF has voted with the DA and whatever, does not mean that you've got a working relationship or a collusion. It's strategic. As a political party, you must take some certain steps for some certain results. But the DA fooled them, because the DA and the IFP, immediately when the elections were announced, they were running to the ANC, making demands. We want this amount of portfolios and everything. And now the Moonpack shot that was swearing to say, listen, we will never work with the ANC. The ANC is the problem, was left wondering what the hell is going on. Especially Action SA, because Action SA was like, hey, we can't go back on our word. What is our voters going to say when we work with this ANC, that we said this ANC is corrupt, this ANC, because the ANC did not change, by the way. For some of you who thought the ANC changed, the ANC did not change. It's still the same ANC before we voted. It's the same ANC that we got. In KZN, it did not change. In provinces where they have lost, nothing changed. The leadership is still the same. Northern Cape, everywhere, the ANC is still the ANC that you know. And the DA was very comfortable to get in bed with that same ANC that he was criticizing for so many years, saying they are so corrupt. Now they are so happy to say, no, man, the government of national confusion is working. It's working. And I must say, even though the ANC has got an upper hand on the DA, but this is also working on as an advantage for the DA, because at least now they've got a few ministries, Ministry of Public Works, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Agriculture. So they are in there, they are in government and doing, gaining some valuable experience, even though I think I continuously ask you guys, the Minister of Dion McPherson of Public Works said there was 300 million that was stolen from cyber hackers from the Department of Public Works. Till today, we're still waiting to hear. The Minister of Home Affairs said they found the victims of Chedima's murder, the whole identity theft thing. Guys, for how long are we waiting for those reports? For how long? When we speak like we are not sensitive to the family that lost their identity because of Chedima's murder. We are so sensitive that we are concerned about where is that family now. We want to see that family. I said, even if they come out and say, guys, let's donate, I'll be the first one to donate to that family. And I'll be the first one to say Chedima's mother must go to prison. But what is the wait? Chedima and her mother are continuing to live their life. What is the wait? Announce and show us this family. But there's something wrong, but you South Africans don't want to hear that. So I'll think yeah. But anyway, let's wait for next week and see if Herman Mashaba will keep to his word, because the ANC has not come to them, meaning that the ANC, Panyaza is probably going to bring the PA and the EFF together there and see what they can do, because they also want Tshwane back in the hands of the ANC. For me, I prefer it like that instead of it being in the hands of the DA. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, guys, enjoy your Sunday. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. After you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace. in pan-Africanism. I salute you.